first step so if you don't or haven't used this, so first step is to create the course. So let's say it's the course for this semester, so ME 111, and so you need to add it here first. And then for adding, so here in this case we don't need an entry code since we can integrate it with Canvas. So create course, and then here in the course settings I can link it with one of my existing courses. So it shows Canvas course, so now I want to link it. Link here, it gets the list of courses, and for fall 22 ME 111, so these are linked here, and there's some default settings that you can add, so the negative and positive scoring and the ceiling that we want. So back to the question that John had, so if we could, a question could have negative points here, so it is possible if you disable this, and also it can be above the maximum points as well if you want to have that. And so here I update the course. I don't have any assignments, so I'm creating the assignment. So I've usually done it for exams and quizzes, haven't done it for any homework assignments. And so then, as Carlos explained, so we need to have a template, so I'll upload that, and then so uploading, so whether the instructor or the student does the uploading. So as I have done it for exams, so now let's go back to the workflow. Okay, yes, so this is the workflow. Then what we have is that, so first the edit outline, so Carlos covered it. Then for the question, so you're in the outline for the different question, you can have one main question with sub questions as well if you want that. And then so other question, the way I usually do it for the exam, so I leave a little box here, so it makes grading easier. So you need to spend a little time beforehand preparing the worksheet, because I don't want to have the questions in there as well. The questions are separate sheet, and then I have an answer book that I print and give to the students. Then for the rubric, so for concept question, if it's not just 0 and 1, I'll have so correct answer +5, so correct answer but incomplete explanation, or correct answer with wrong or no explanation, and so on. So this is a sample I use for concept questions, and you can always reuse these, so you can import these from previous assignments, so that makes this easy. And for a problem question, so you can have as many rubric items as you want. So this is one of the longest ones that I have. So you can have a bunch of positive rubric points, and you can mix it with negative points as well. So for example, if they missed the unit or used incorrect unit, so you can have this one, or then later on as you're grading, you note some common mistakes and you want to and take off a certain number of points for that specific mistakes. If it carries over, they've done the rest of the parts okay, but this is they got this number wrong initially in the problem, so you can fix this, assign it here, and then apply to the students. So then this and the rubric, so again there's a lot of back and forth, so you can update the rubric as you go forward. It's at any point you can go back and update. Then for the managing of the scans, so here what Carlos explained, so with exams where there could be like 6, 7, 8 pages, sometimes when you scan a whole bunch of them, if one page is missing, so your template says the exam is 8 pages. You have a PDF file with 8 pages, and then you scan, you have several hundreds of pages, and if for one assignment one page in the middle is missing, then it can mess up the order of the assignment. So you have to go back and manually split certain assignments and merge it with the previous one and so on to get it right. So usually it's not too bad, but this is something that can happen with a large number of students and when scanning a lot of papers. Usually the scanner does a good job, it doesn't miss anything, but sometimes papers stick together. Then the keyboard shortcuts that Carlos mentioned, yes, they are very helpful. It makes grading very fast, and you can have submission specific adjustments. So yes, sometimes especially with the students that they haven't gotten the right answer, so it's not, we have multiple mistakes, but they're minor, so you can kind of adjust here based on this kind of assign fudge points here, and comments, and then these comments are saved, then you can reuse them as well, all of them. So once you start typing, it auto completes. You type H, it brings this comment. And then at the end, for publishing the grade, so one option you have, you can download them as a spreadsheet first, and it has a breakdown by the question. And if you want any additional calculations, or if you want to manually curve it, things like that, you can do that. And then you can also export all the assignments as a PDF. Then you can post it to Canvas, and also you can compose an email with a custom email body and send it to all the students as a reminder for them to check the grade. Then also what is nice is that so you can get regrade requests. They show up here. There's a section, and then you can enable or disable them at any, so you can have, let's say, 7 days window for submitting regrade requests. You can have it here, and then you can see, click on it, and then go and update the grade. So overall, here are based on my opinion, the pros and cons of using Gradescope. So as you can see, the pros are many more than the cons. So first is that you can have a more consistent and more fair grading. So especially you grade one question at a time, and you can adjust points and apply it automatic adjust points for specific rubric items. It goes on automatically applies that to all students. Also, it reduces the chance of making mistakes in adding, subtraction. It saves time as well. So adding at the end, subtraction mistakes can happen. It also maintains the digital record, so you don't have to keep the whole stack of papers or save digitally. You save the PDF file and also on Gradescope. And also you don't need to carry the papers around, so especially during finals, you might want to take the exams home to grade it. Again, it's I'm sure you have experienced that. It's going to be a huge stack of paper. It has both positive and negative rubric items, and you can combine them as well. And the rubric can be updated on the go, so that's nice. And then the grade statistics breakdown, you can see it by question, whereas if you were to grade it by hand, getting such information wouldn't be that easy, and it can be linked with Canvas easily. The cons, in my opinion, so one is that preparing the answer book, so at least the way I do it, it can take a little time, so that the way you print it, and then for scanning, so that's that works well. It takes a little time, and scanning them, that takes some additional time and effort. So usually I've had our department assistant, student assistant, take care of it, and they've done a good job. And it can't be used on iPad, so for grading, so that's one difference with Speed Grader on Canvas. And so you can't use it on a tablet, I think, with stylus. I haven't tried it, but you can't use it on iPad. But its benefit is with using it with keyboard shortcuts. I think that's pretty fast, so I don't think it's a major point, and not many people use iPad. So that's it.